All right, welcome everyone. We are about to dive into the surprisingly powerful world of worm farming. Yeah, you heard that right. And you won't believe how something so small can have such a huge impact. Let's get started. So, right off the bat, I want to be super clear about what we're doing here. You aren't just here to learn about worms. This is way bigger than that. This is about you gaining some really invaluable skills, skills that can create a real positive impact on our planet. We're talking about a path to being an entrepreneur and a steward of the environment. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so before we can really truly appreciate the solution we're going to talk about, we first have to wrap our heads around the problems. And believe me, the stakes are high. We're facing 5 major crises, and as you'll see, they're all tangled together. Yeah, just look at this list. First up, we've got soil degradation. That's a huge threat to our food supply. Then there's waste management. I mean, we all know how big of a problem that is. Water scarcity is becoming more and more of a reality for so many. Add to that economic instability, and then there's this last one, a modern identity crisis. It's this feeling of being disconnected from nature, from our world. These aren't small things. They are the big, critical challenges of our time.
So you see a list like that, and honestly, it's easy to feel, well, a little overwhelmed, isn't it? I mean, with problems this big, where do you even begin? It can feel kind of impossible. But here's the thing. Sometimes the answer is hiding in the most unexpected place.
And that answer, it isn't some super complex, high-tech, expensive gadget. Nope, it's humble, it's natural, and it's been working perfectly for millions of years. We start with the worm. So let's talk about the solution itself. I like to think of it as learning the language of the soil. And the key, the absolute key to unlocking this entire world, all starts with one simple little prefix. And that word is vermi. That's it. It comes from the Latin word vermis, which just means worm. Simple, right? But this one little word is the foundational building block for everything we're about to get into. Once you get vermi, you basically got the key to the whole kingdom. All right, so we have the key. Now what does it unlock? Well, it opens the door to the two main branches of this technology. I want you to think of them as two sides of the same coin, and it's an incredibly valuable coin. They work together to create this amazing, sustainable system. Okay, let's break this down. It's actually really straightforward. On one side, you've got vermiculture. That's the culture part. It's all about breeding and raising the worms. You're basically building up your tiny workforce. Then, on the other side, you have vermicomposting. That's the process where you put that workforce to use to create, well, an absolutely amazing, nutrient-rich fertilizer, which we call castings. So one is about the worms themselves, the population. The other is about what they make, the product. See? Simple. Now, when you put those two together, vermicomposting and vermiculture, you get what we call vermi-solutions. And this is where it gets really exciting. Why? Because these solutions are faster, they're cheaper, and they're just more holistic than so many of the old ways of doing things. Remember those 5 big crises we talked about? This tackles them. It builds healthy soil, it deals with waste, it helps conserve water, and it creates real economic opportunities. It does it all at once. Okay, so we've laid it all out, right? We've seen the problem and we've talked about the fundamental solution. Now let's pivot a little and look at the path forward. Because this isn't just some interesting theory, this is about unlocking actual, real-world opportunities. So we've covered the why, those huge global crises. And we've covered the what, the incredible power of vermitechnology. But that leaves the biggest question of all, doesn't it? How do you actually turn all this knowledge into action? Are you ready to see just how big this industry really is? Are you ready to dive into the 10 pillars of opportunity? Well, stick around, because that's exactly where we're going next.